Alright guys, what is going on today? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about the new Boruto chapter 65 called the Karma Power. Alright, so looking at this chapter, it resumes right after chapter 64 when Boruto fell to the ground after he used the full powers of the karma. And then you see Kawaki saying, don't tell me these are the effects of the medication. And you see Boruto out right now. And he's in pain, like the man's grabbing his chest, so like you know he's in pain. So then Boruto has everything freeze around him. And Code freezes, Ida freezes, everybody freezes. And you see Momoshiki sitting on top of a tree. And then Momoshiki tells Boruto, he's like, even if you halt the karmic extraction with some trifling drug, it's no more than a stopgap measure. And see, the thing I want to note here is if you look at Boruto's right side, he has no control over it. Even when Momoshiki approaches him, he can only turn his left side, he cannot turn his right side. He tries moving his right side, but he can't. Even the right eye, if you notice, the right eye is starting to close. So what I'm assuming is Momoshiki is controlling his right side, since his right side eye is now closed too. And like I said, he can't even move the arm either, but his left side he's able to move, and the head he's able to move, the eye is open. And I think these are the effects of the medication, which is why Momoshiki says no matter what you do, those drugs will not stop the inevitable. So that means Boruto will eventually turn into an Otsutsuki. Now, I know the anime did it where they're saying that the drugs stop the Otsutsukification completely, but I think the manga is saying that even if he takes the drugs, it's still gonna happen. So then Momoshiki approaches Boruto and he says, hello again, foolish lad. And you see Boruto shocked saying, Momoshiki. And Boruto himself is confused because everyone is frozen around him and he's like, I can't move. And he's like, I haven't used up all my strength or chakra. And he's like, this has happened before when he first met Momoshiki, when he first implanted him with the karma. Now looking at this panel when Ida is frozen too, now I wonder if Ida can see Boruto doing this, because the thing is her eye can see everything in real time. Now time itself is frozen, but I don't think time itself is frozen. I think everything's happening in milliseconds or nanoseconds in Boruto's mind. It's like when you die, your brain has like 7 minutes or something like that where it goes through your memories from the beginning till the end. And everything happening in your brain is happening much faster than it is in real life. Now those 7 minutes in the mind are about like your whole lifespan. Well, in the real world, they're only 7 minutes. Now the same could be applied to this, where in Boruto's mind, it's only about like 3-4 minutes, while in the real world it's only like half a second or even less than half a second. Now the reason why I say it's in his mind, it's like when Ichigo fought Kenpachi in Bleach. When Ichigo's Quincy powers approached him when he was on the verge of death and everything around him froze. Everything Ichigo did in those like 5 minutes, 10 minutes in his inner world were literally like half a second on the outside. And even Kenpachi himself says, how did he come back to life, or how is he up and everything, even though he just stabbed him. And literally within like 2-3 seconds of him walking away, he comes back to life. Now I think that's the same thing to what's happening with Boruto. So I think the same thing applies here, where everything happening in Boruto's mind is only a couple of seconds or less. So I'm assuming everything Ida's Senraigan can see is happening in real time, but if this is in Boruto's head, then she cannot see this happening. But the only issue is, how does Sasuke see it? That's the only weird part. Now I think the anime might do it differently than the manga. The anime might not do a time stop thing or whatever it was, and the manga might keep the time stop. In the anime it shows that Sasuke saw all the events happen within like half a second or whatever it was. While in the manga it says time completely froze and Sasuke is the only one who's seen it. Then again, I don't think time is frozen. I think it's moving really slow. Because if Sasuke was able to see it and time was frozen, then that wouldn't make any sense. Because Sasuke should not have been able to see it with the Rinnegan regardless if time was frozen, because everybody was frozen. So that wouldn't make sense. I think time is just extremely slowed down, as to same thing with the Ichigo fight. But anyways, looking at the panel, you see Momoshiki tell Boruto, he's like, look at those worthless Kara dregs. He's like, he's the one who has the 10 kills, doesn't he? Momoshiki tells him, it's a perfect chance to kill him, move aside boy. Now the thing here I read in the leaks, it says that Boruto switched control with Momoshiki. Now it doesn't look like that. Boruto's right side is completely mucked right now, and I think Momoshiki forcefully takes control over his body because Boruto's being affected by the effects of the medication. If you look at BoruShiki now, his left eye is closed, meaning Boruto has gone to sleep and Momoshiki's awake. If both were awake, then his left eye would have been open, but it's closed. So that wouldn't make any sense with Boruto being awake and him purposely giving Momoshiki control of his body. Since he knows what Momoshiki can do, especially after the Sasuke eye stab, he wouldn't want to give control to the person who could do something like that to somebody else. That would not make any sense on Boruto's part. So I think Momoshiki purposely took control of Boruto here. So then BoruShiki fights Code and he literally knocks Code and he uses the Odama Rasengan. So now this is a BoruShiki using full chakra of Boruto on top of his fighting experience and everything. And then Code says ridiculous amount of destructive power, so totally different than Boruto's karma strength. Code is like, so this is the true Otsutsuki power. No wonder Boro Amado had no chance. And then BoruShiki's like, it'll be the same for you. You'll learn soon enough. So then the panels get on to Amado and them. Now you see Amado is with Sai and Sumire, and he says that Kawaki has already encountered Code. He's like, how do you know? And Sai tells him that they've confirmed an unknown chakra with Boruto and they indicate they're fighting. And then you see Amado drop a sweat and he's like, he shouldn't have any sensing abilities. That's way too fast. How the heck did he find Kawaki? And then Sumire's like, there's possibly an ally working with him. And then Amado's like, I won't discount the possibility, but there isn't an outer who's that skilled either as far as I know. Now the thing here with Amado, I think Amado knows that there's a different type of cyborg alive, since he did hint himself that he made several cyborgs, but they were destroyed apparently, but he doesn't know that. But the thing is that he drops a sweat saying that was way too fast. So he himself is shocked. That means he himself knows that his death is approaching. Somebody's out to kill him, because he doesn't know how they found Kawaki that fast. So then Sai is talking to Amado and Sumire, and you see him not even paying attention. You see Amado say, come on Kawaki, we've gone this far, don't you muck it up now. And you see Sumire look at him. So literally right here, Amado is muttering to himself. He knows something that nobody else knows. He knows what's gonna happen. He has a plan in his head. He's up to something, which is why Sumire in the last few chapters kept questioning Amado, saying, what ulterior motive do you have? So I think Amado wanted Kawaki to get the karma so he can kill Code and destroy all his enemies. Since Amado knows he himself is weak unless he has some sort of scientific tools to use against the enemy, or he has somebody powerful enough like Kawaki, who's using Ishiki's karma and using Ishiki's experience. But I think his wording here means that he gave Kawaki the karma, saying, come on Kawaki, you've gotten this far, don't you muck it up now. Because we know Kawaki gets the karma. That means there is a gap between chapter 60 and 61. There's some sort of time skip that happens in that we don't know of. And that explains how Kawaki is able to get the karma. Unless Amado gave it to him without Kawaki knowing, it could be something like that. But Amado is suspect here, and I think he knows Ida is coming for him since he is dropping the sweat. And remember, when Amado is sweating, he knows something's wrong. Just look at chapter 55. He's wondering if Kawaki was alright. He knows something is up with that sweat drop. And then you see Sumire look at Amado, and she's questioning herself, saying, this is the same thing he did back then when they were fighting Ishiki. Judging by Amado's expression, I think Amado is scheming something we don't know yet, and I think it has something to do with Kawaki and possibly that cyborg as well, for all we know. But anyways, looking on to the next panel, BoruShiki kept throwing the Odama Rasengans around, and then you see Code pop up behind Kawaki and he grabs him and he's about to blast him with another Odama Rasengan, and then Code tells him, whoa, relax, don't you need Kawaki? You need to sacrifice him to the Ten Tails, no? And then you see BoruShiki just standing there thinking like, and then Code's like, I'm taking him with me for a private matter. And he's like, it's an honor to meet you, Otsutsuki Momoshiki. So regardless of Code getting injured, he looks up to the Otsutsuki no matter what, even if he's about to kill him. And then you see BoruShiki compress the Odama Rasengan down into a compressed Rasengan. And the name of this Rasengan is called Rasendan, Dan meaning bullet. But what I think is, I don't think that is a compressed Rasengan. I think that is a new technique Boruto learned on how to control the compressed Rasengan, or make another type of Rasengan. Not exactly the compressed, but similar to the compressed. And he's able to shoot it with his fingers rather than him throwing it. Since I think that will make it much easier for Boruto to aim. Since when he throws a Rasengan, he needs accuracy, but when you have a bullet, it's easier. The accuracy is much easier. So then he throws the Rasengan right at Code, and Code gets shot right in the shoulder. Goes right through him. And then Code's like, shit, I got shot in the shoulder. And then you see Ida get up too. She's like, Code. And then you see BoruShiki rush Code, kicks Code in the face, and then he makes fun of his white karma, saying, what a dud karma. You can't even absorb jutsu with it, can you? And right at this moment, Ida notices that somebody is coming. If you look at Ida, and she quickly warns Code, saying, can you hear me? And then it goes to BoruShiki and Kawaki. Kawaki's like, let me go. And BoruShiki's like, hey, is that any way to talk to the person who rescued you? He's like, shut up or I'll break your limbs. So then BoruShiki kicks down Kawaki and everything. He's about to snap his arm, and that is when Shikamaru comes and uses his shadow possession. He uses the shadow possession and he stops BoruShiki from breaking Kawaki's arm. And at this moment, Naruto comes, grabs Kawaki and moves back. And then BoruShiki's surprised, saying the Hokage is here. And then you see Shikamaru saying Boruto's running amok again. So then BoruShiki absorbs the shadow possession. And then Ida is talking to Code, and she's like, what are you going to do? I think you should call it a day. Now looking at Code, Code's like, this is a perfect opportunity. Shikamaru's here. So now we know Code is up to something. So now I want to point out, now I know with Ida, I don't think Ida is paying attention to everybody coming at Code and Boruto and them. I think she's paying attention to the current battle, because she only sensed Shikamaru and Naruto last second. She did not sense them before. That's why she got the shock all of a sudden that somebody's nearby. She wasn't paying attention. So this could possibly go into my previous theory that Sarada and Mitsuki come to battle back up Boruto or even save Boruto. Because if the whole village is on alert and Sai knows what's going on, who's to say Sakura doesn't know? Sakura, for all we know, could tell Sarada, and Sumire knows what's going on. So then Sarada, in a panic, goes to Mitsuki. Mitsuki is able to smell where Boruto is by his scent, and then Mitsuki and Sarada go to find Boruto. Now Ida is not going to know that Sarada and Mitsuki are coming. So if Ida was able to sense Naruto and Shikamaru last second, who's to say that she cannot sense Sarada and Mitsuki coming last second? Since I do believe this is a perfect opportunity, because now we see BoruShiki's out, and Boruto is asleep right now, and Sasuke gave the task to Sarada to take down Boruto if he ever transforms. Now what I'm going to point out is the power difference between BoruShiki and Sarada. Now I know some say BoruShiki is stronger, this and that. We know he's stronger. Who's to say Sarada didn't get stronger? If Boruto learned a new jutsu, which I believe is the Rasengan, who's to say Sarada doesn't have a different type of jutsu already? Because I don't think Momoshiki made the Rasengan. He uses all of Boruto's attacks, abilities, all that. He doesn't make his own stuff. So he's using everything Boruto has learned. This goes to show that Boruto knows how to use those techniques. So then Momoshiki is using Boruto's abilities. So with Sarada and Mitsuki coming, it's possible that his eye cut does happen by Sarada because she will try stopping Momoshiki. And it looks like any damage that Momoshiki gets, it won't heal. What I mean by that is I think the pills are stopping Boruto's body from healing. The reason they don't heal Boruto anymore is because the pills are suppressing Momoshiki, and we know Momoshiki would heal Boruto. The second being that I don't think Momoshiki heals when he's in the BoruShiki form. Reason for that is if you look at the horn is still snapped after chapter 54, and the horn hasn't healed back. So I think any damage Boruto takes while in the BoruShiki form, his physical body doesn't heal. Now that's only exclusive to Momoshiki. Now the only issue with that is that the headband is not on Boruto. When Momoshiki comes on, the horn throws the headband down. So I think the cut happens when he has the headband on, though I do still believe it's possible that Sarada or somebody else will cut his eye in either his new karma form or in a different form where Momoshiki takes control and the headband stays on. And another thing is that it's possible that if Sarada does arrive, she may break off Momoshiki's horn so that Boruto wakes up. I think that if the horn gets snapped again, the horn's not going to grow back again next time. So that means if BoruShiki comes out later and he has no horn, then the headband will stay on top the whole time. But yeah, who's to say Sarada and Mitsuki won't come then? And I think Sarada may be able to fight against BoruShiki. She may lose, but she'll find a way to bring back Boruto or wake him up. She might get injured and all because we know BoruShiki is stronger, but she'll still do something to wake Boruto up. So then looking back at the panels, Kawaki gets pissed off at Naruto saying, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Why are you here?" He's like, "Why did you come? Just run." Because Kawaki's scared that Naruto is going to die by Code. And then you see Code come and he goes right behind Shikamaru saying, "Yo, you come closer, I'm gonna snap this man's neck." Now I did say something like this in my other previous theory videos, saying that if Shikamaru gets there, he might die since Code will come and probably stab him in the neck or cut his neck open, and that's it. And I think it's possible that Shikamaru might die because Code makes a smirk when he says Naruto's second in command is here. So he knows this is a good opportunity to use Shikamaru as a hostage against Naruto. Or he's going to kill Shikamaru as revenge and he's going to tell Naruto, "You're next," which makes Kawaki go even crazier, saying that if Code was able to kill the second in command, he's going to come kill Naruto for sure. And then you see Shikamaru saying, "Just do it, just kill me." And he's telling Naruto to go all out. That means Naruto could take on Code, but Naruto can't take him because he has to protect Kawaki, fight BoruShiki, and go against Code while protecting Shikamaru. So I know other people are going to pull up. I know Sarada and Mitsuki are probably going to pull up next chapter and they're going to back Naruto up. So there's no way that only Shikamaru and Naruto went after a Jigen type threat, which Code is supposed to be. So there's for sure going to be other people pulling up, most likely Sasuke, maybe some other shinobis, as they did state that reinforcements are on the way. So then looking at the next panel, BoruShiki says, "Fascinating." So then BoruShiki tells Code, he's like, "You know what, I'll help you kill the Hokage. He's a nuisance to me as well." So then Kawaki rushes BoruShiki and he literally gets knocked down. BoruShiki does one kick against Kawaki and he's done on the ground. And then Code tells Naruto, he's like, "Don't move. Do you want me to kill Shikamaru?" And now Naruto's in a situation against two enemies. So basically Code and Momoshiki have teamed up. Code wants to kill Naruto while BoruShiki wants to feed Kawaki to the tree. So it's a win-win. At the same time, BoruShiki wants to kill Code as well. So everybody's enemies are in front of them. And then you see Momoshiki make a massive Rasengan. And he blasts a Rasengan right at Naruto because Naruto can't do anything. At this moment, you see Kawaki pull up. Everybody is shocked. You see Kawaki pull up and he absorbs the Odama Rasengan. And you see Kawaki with his karma. Kawaki has gotten the karma back. He has the Ishiki karma. It's the same karma we've seen in episode 203 and back when Ishiki invaded Naruto's house and he grabbed Kawaki and he saw the horn grow. He told Kawaki, he's like, "I'm surprised you're already at this stage." He's like, "You evolved nicely." That means Kawaki's body was mostly Otsutsuki-fied. So then you see the panels of Amato. Amato saying, "Is it powerlessness that's irritating you or grief over losing the karma?" So that means I think Amato did give Kawaki the karma because that's what he said to him. So that means there probably was a gap between chapter 60 and 61 when he got the karma back from Amato. But I think the karma took time to extract because he literally repeats everything he said in the previous chapter, saying, is it powerlessness that irritates you or grief over losing the karma? So take it for yourself, especially since Ishiki's gone for good, a brand new power in the form of a karma that's purely a weapon. So literally Kawaki's karma is straight powerhouse. He's using Ishiki's experience on top of Ishiki's power. Like, Ishiki is the strongest. So right now Kawaki using full Ishiki strength because he has a horn as well. He's on a higher stage. He is stronger than this current BoruShiki, I believe. He absorbed the Rasengan, and I think he's going to redeflect that Rasengan back at BoruShiki. Now looking at Kawaki himself, his left eye, I don't know what eye that is. I think it's a byakugan. I don't think it's Ishiki's left eye. I think it's Ishiki's byakugan, because what other dojutsu would the Otsutsuki have? And his eye looks fairly similar to Boruto's. So I think his left eye is a byakugan and it's Ishiki's byakugan. And the Otsutsukis are known for byakugan, but each and every one of them have a certain type of eye. Momoshiki had the Rinnegan, but you don't see Boruto with the Rinnegan. Ishiki had a byakugan and his left eye, I forgot the name of it. But both Boruto and Kawaki transformed have a byakugan looking eye. So I think that eye is a byakugan. I could be wrong, they might show it next chapter what it might be, but I think right now that's a byakugan. So this time Kawaki is at a state like Boruto was before, but this time I think he's gone higher than Boruto than last chapter, since Kawaki has grown the horn, and the horn looks really similar to Ishiki's. So I think Kawaki's on a higher percentage than Boruto. So then you see Code say, no way, that's impossible. What the heck's going on? And the chapter ends right here. So that's some crazy shit that just went down. That's some real crazy shit. We're all wondering how the hell did Kawaki get the karma back? I think there was a gap between 60 and 61 and Amato gave it to him then, but I think the karma took a bit of time extracting, or the karma only came out in a situation of dire need. For example, I think Kawaki had to be pushed far enough for the karma to activate. That's one possibility. And I think what Kawaki's plan was, he has the karma on him. He was going to trade himself into Code. He goes back with Code and then he kills Code back in his lair so that he could finish Code off before Code could even get to Naruto. I think that's what Kawaki was trying to do. He knew he had the karma, because think about it, Kawaki knew he was going to get dragged by Code, and he didn't use his karma then when fighting Code. Even when Boruto showed up, he didn't activate the karma because he thought maybe Code would go away, but then he used the karma to save Naruto, someone he looks up to. But that's one possibility, that he had it but he never used it, or like I said, the karma was taking a bit of time to extract and it only came out in a situation where Kawaki was pushed to the corner. Since Kawaki has the flashback of Amato saying, is it powerlessness that's irritating you or losing the karma? And I think it was both. So then he did take Amato's deal and gain the karma, and I think that is why Amato says to Kawaki, he's like, I hope you don't muck up the situation. I think Amato knew what Kawaki was gonna do, and Kawaki was gonna take himself in, use that power, and then kill Code inside his base. I think that's what his plan was. Otherwise, why would Amato say that, come on Kawaki, you've gone this far, don't you muck it up now? He knew what he was up to, but then he wasn't sure on the ally that's helping Code. That's why he had the sweat drop. But it looks like Amato knew what Kawaki was doing, so he's suspect. That means he told Kawaki something under the table that Sumire didn't know, Shikamaru didn't know, Naruto didn't know, Boruto didn't know. Something was suspect, which also explains why in chapter 61 Kawaki was able to hide his presence, because he has the Otsutsuki powers. Just because he was 80-90% Otsutsuki doesn't mean he was able to use the karma's ability or even the Otsutsuki abilities unless he has the karma. But remember what Amato said, he's like, you have the power stored inside you, you don't have a way of accessing that power. So they already hinted us that Kawaki got the karma back in chapter 61 when Kawaki used the Otsutsuki chakra suppression, where he hid his presence and he disappeared. And that goes back to the house example that Amato gave us. The house is sitting there, but Kawaki doesn't have a door to enter the house. So then Amato gave him a door to enter the house and gain access inside the house. So that means he took Amato's deal at the end of chapter 60, and 61 it resumes. So that is it for my chapter 65 analysis. Now I want to talk about a theory. I think BoruShiki is going to leave with Code. From the looks of it, why is BoruShiki hinting, saying that he's the one who has the 10 tails? On top of that, BoruShiki telling Code, he's like, alright, I'll help you eliminate your target. Think about it. He's doing Code a favor, so Code's like, alright, you want to come with me? Since it looks like BoruShiki's in full control of Boruto's body, and Boruto's out because his left side is sleeping, meaning Boruto's done. And I think the pills are suppressing Boruto at the moment, and Momoshiki's in control like fully. And since we know BoruShiki's a schemer, he could be up to that, where he's gonna try using Code, find the 10 tails, kill Code off, take the 10 tails, then go get Kawaki, feed him to the tree, and that's it. Everything's done, and it works out in a proper way. And most likely Code will agree, because Code says to Momoshiki, he's like, it was an honor meeting you. He said honor. People don't usually say honor unless they look up to that person, and since he's an Otsutsuki, he looks up to him. So Code and Momoshiki will team up and be like, alright, you help me, I help you. He's like, you want the 10 tails? I'll give you the 10 tails, but I want Naruto in return. So I think they're probably gonna make a deal somewhere around there, since I think Code is going to kill Naruto and Sasuke, and he's like, I don't care what you do with Kawaki, you're gonna feed him to to the tree, go ahead. He's like, as long as I get my enemies killed, I don't care what you do. He'll give him the 10 tails in exchange. Then BoruShiki will help Code kill Naruto and Sasuke. But with Momoshiki and Code teaming up, it's possible that Code tells Momoshiki that you get me Amato, I'll give you the 10 tails. Because I think Code mainly wants Amato. He's the traitor. He's the one who led the whole downfall to all of Kara. So I think Code mainly wants Amato, and he's gonna tell Momoshiki, sneak into the village, no one can detect you, and plus Boruto's chakra is already in the system. Just like how we've seen Kashinkoji sneak in because of Jiraiya's chakra. Sneak in, grab Amato, bring him back, and he's gonna basically kill Amato and get his limiters removed. Once he gets his limiters removed, he's going to go kill Naruto and Sasuke, and then he's gonna give Momoshiki the 10 tails. Now you're probably wondering, isn't Boruto gonna wake up? I don't think Boruto's gonna wake up yet. I think Momoshiki's gonna be in full control. Think about it now. Boruto has advanced so much that he's not waking up right now. And Boruto is on full chakra. So that means Momoshiki has full control of his body at this point. He's using left side, right side, everything, using his whole body completely. And Boruto's not empty on chakra. So if Boruto's asleep, that means Momoshiki's gonna be in control of his body for some time until Boruto wakes up, and then Momoshiki goes back to sleep. And then if Boruto sleeps, Momoshiki's gonna come back out and control his body again. It's gonna be a back and forth. But if Boruto is not able to wake up and he's basically sent into a coma now, that means Momoshiki is going to be controlling Boruto's body for some time. If BoruShiki and Code do team up and Code takes Boruto back to his hideout, he's basically going to be BoruShiki the whole time until Momoshiki goes to sleep, or unless Boruto snaps back the horn. Now I do have a theory. Now this is just a theory, there's nothing confirmed on this, but what if the roles of Momoshiki and Boruto have switched? Before, we know Boruto needed chakra to awaken when Momoshiki took control, but what if now he needs to be empty on chakra so Momoshiki doesn't take control? That could be possible due to the fact that Momoshiki took control of Boruto while he was full on chakra. Also, this could go on to Boruto learning taijutsu and kenjutsu, which is why he has the sword in episode 1, and he uses the karma back in episode 1 to gain strength in taijutsu and kenjutsu. Because if you think about it, the karma gives the experience of the Otsutsuki to its user. So if Boruto is using Momoshiki's battle experience and he's using taijutsu and kenjutsu, Boruto's already going to be OP. We saw the way Boruto fought against Code, so it's possible that Boruto has to stay low on chakra by using kenjutsu and taijutsu while he cannot go full on chakra, otherwise Momoshiki would appear. And he uses the karma to give him extra strength, thus relying more on his physical attacks rather than using any jutsus. Anyways, getting back to the idea that Code leaving with Momoshiki, if Code does take BoruShiki back to the hideout, it's possible that when Boruto is about to wake up, Code decides to put him in a cell or somewhere where Boruto cannot get out. Now I know Boruto can probably open a portal or something like that, but I don't think Momoshiki will let him. I think there's going to be an eternal battle between Momoshiki and Boruto, and Momoshiki won't allow Boruto to use his karma and use the karma abilities like opening portals to escape or anything like that. But Boruto not having control of his body will probably lead him to awakening his jougan, and I believe the jougan will be directly responsible with Boruto controlling his own body and stopping Momoshiki. So if the two do team up and you see all the other shinobis come, I think BoruShiki is going to kill the other shinobis. Now everyone is going to see a threat that Boruto really is. This will lead to Boruto being rogue and Boruto being kicked out. Now you have to look at it like this. After the Ishiki fight, Boruto was kept on the low, alright? Didn't say anything about his karma, anything like that. So then if all shinobis pull up and they see what Boruto has become and the Hokage kept that hidden, it's basically gonna hurt Naruto's position. And people aren't gonna trust Naruto saying, yo, this guy kept his own son inside the village while he was a threat to everybody. Since Gaara did say, what if Boruto becomes a Ishiki type threat? Now Boruto is a Ishiki type threat. While Kawaki's in control of his body, Boruto is not in control of his body. So if BoruShiki kills all those people and everyone notices the dangers of Boruto, he's gonna be branded a rogue. He's gonna be kicked out. People don't want him in the village. He's a threat, especially because they kept it under the tables. They will eventually see how bad he was and what they were doing. This will lead to Boruto's downfall. Now, I do believe multiple theories coming true here. You can see Sasuke pull up and he could try stopping BoruShiki and he may die for all we know, and Boruto takes it upon himself saying, I killed my own master, and he goes back to normal, and we see why he leaves the village. It's possible that Sarada and Mitsuki come up, she slashes Boruto's eye, but the headband has to be on when Boruto's eye gets slashed since the cut goes right through his headband, so that's a 50-50. Code taking Boruto, I see that as a high possibility, especially if BoruShiki is in control and Boruto is not going to wake up. BoruShiki can agree with Code's terms and they basically go together, and then Boruto will be branded a rogue, similar to how Sasuke was branded a rogue once he joined the Akatsuki. Same thing with Boruto here. Now Momoshiki's in control, he's gonna do some pretty messed up stuff with Boruto's body, and Boruto is not gonna like it when he wakes up. He's gonna see all the damage he's done, everything he's done. He's gonna look at himself in despair. So it's possible that Boruto himself cuts his own eye when he gets angry at BoruShiki for doing all this messed up stuff. Because for all we know, Code and BoruShiki could team up, go somewhere else, destroy other villages, this and that. Like, they'll be a tag team duo. And then Boruto will see the monster he's become, which could probably lead to that cold-hearted Boruto we saw in episode 1 and chapter 1, where he lost everything. He was in so much despair and he looked really cold-hearted. So that could lead to that. But anyways, that is it for the theory. I think BoruShiki and Code are going to team up from the looks of it. And I think when all the other villagers arrive, they're going to see Boruto fight them, maybe even possibly kill a couple of them. And that will lead to Boruto's downfall as a rogue ninja. So let me know what you guys think. I know this video was a bit long. I want to go a bit more in depth because there's a lot of stuff shown. It's just like last year's chapter 53. There's so much stuff, and I like how they do that. Every time at the end of the year, they hype us up with these type of chapters, bro. Jeez, this whole anime, this whole year has been fire. I wonder how 66 is gonna be. Looking at 54 was decent. I didn't mind it. 53 was hectic. 53 was intense. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos to come.